Hello, darlings. Welcome to Tea with Justine. I am super excited to introduce you to my friend, Sienna Babb.
Hello.
She is the CEO and founder of WMN Legal, an incredible platform that essentially matches up women with female lawyers for all their legal needs. And what I love about this platform is that at its core, it's about women empowering women and women looking out for each other, which is what we all need to do more of.
Totally, yeah.
So can you tell us why WMN Legal? Because you yourself aren't an attorney.
Right. So I've spent, before founding this business, about 12 years in corporate. And I have traditionally been on the business development side, so launching businesses, especially digital businesses. And I myself went through an employment situation where I needed an attorney. And I was shocked at how difficult it was to find an attorney. For me, my situation was I needed some advice and guidance. And finding an attorney who could help me with that. My dog is going crazy right now. Of course,
come here.
Finding an attorney who could help me in that way, it was incredibly difficult. I felt so lucky. I randomly got connected with an attorney through the woman who waxes our eyebrows.
Oh.
And if I wouldn't have found this woman, this attorney, to help me, I would have been in a very bad situation. So that experience to me triggered this. There has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to find these women that are small law, sole practitioners, or small 2 to 3 person law firms who specialize in helping individuals like you and me with whatever our needs are. And so I launched WMN Legal to help women like us find these individual attorneys. And these attorneys tend to be a lot more affordable, a lot more flexible, a lot more just kind of supportive.
Yeah.
And we also, as part of our platform, do our own kind of vetting of attorneys who come to us. All the attorneys on our platform have been recommended to us by existing attorneys who are already members, or through very close friends, trusted friends and family who have all had experience with attorneys who are these women are awesome. And so that's the network that we're trying to build, of a very trusted, experienced, vetted network of these female attorneys. And yes, so we launched in October of last year, and so far it's been really exciting, and I've been so happy to see it really start to take off. We have attorneys that have helped women from everything from starting their business to having an employment issue like I did, to getting a divorce, to also small things I need to create a living will. I'm a creative. I want to do a licensing deal. I want to protect my IP. I want to trademark or copyright. It spans the total spectrum. And I've just been so happy to see this concept of women supporting women and helping women connect with these professional service providers really start to take off.
And something that really struck me about your story was that not that all male attorneys are untrustworthy,
right,
but you really had kind of a sexist experience.
I had a bad experience.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which was just
Yes.
not cool. And it's hard enough finding someone you can trust, and you're paying so much money to these attorneys.
Right.
So having WMN Legal be able to vet and make sure that you're well taken care of, that is something that is so comforting,
Totally.
I think.
You know what, and our platform too, I should say, it's open to everyone, but we are very focused on, and our mission and brand is all about supporting women. And you're totally right, there are guys out there, and men that I've been introduced to as well, that are attorneys who are very huge advocates of women's rights and empowering women and supporting women. But sometimes you get connected with someone who, as I did, just doesn't understand what you are going through. and doesn't understand kind of the female perspective. And it's so important, especially in these situations where you're already feeling like kind of vulnerable and like upset and I don't know, just like this sucks. Unless you're doing something like starting your own business or something that's awesome, you're like, yes, charge, I'm doing it. But like if you're having like a difficult situation, like you don't want someone to make you feel bad or make you feel worse. You want someone who's gonna be like, I've got you, like we're gonna get through this, like I understand what you're going through, like I will help you get resolution or resolve this or whatever it is.
But even if you're starting your own business, like you want to make sure you do it all correctly.
Right.
So
you want to feel protected.
Yeah. So you still want someone who's going to have your back, and I think that's the great thing about WMN Legal.
Yeah.
Now, on your platform, there's so much more to discover and, you know, resources there. Can you tell us about what people can find when they visit your website?
Yes. So we're trying to be very kind of like forward thinking and progressive about our content as well. So we have content on there that is really from the perspective of like, I went through this, or here's what I learned. A lot of it has been contributed from people who have used our platform. So we're trying to build something that feels relatable and accessible, and honestly a lot less intimidating for people like us who have never needed to have a lawyer before and are you know, and women especially, like a big fear is we are concerned that we're going to get taken advantage of, or that we're going to it doesn't feel very transparent, that we're going to talk to an attorney and all of a sudden we're going to get a bill for like $10,000. And we're trying to make that process a lot more transparent.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I noticed on your Instagram and on your website, you have a lot of advice for starting businesses, which I think is really exciting. I mean, so many people nowadays are jumping from corporate to entrepreneurship like yourself. So can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. Well, I can speak to like my experience. So for me, what I learned was the most important thing is to just like, get started. And there are so many tools out there now that make launching a website or optimizing your like digital marketing strategy or your social like really easy, and you can do things quickly and really start to like bootstrap a business to get something out there and start to get market feedback and start to test your brand. And you know, coming from corporate, like corporate moves pretty slowly sometimes, and you can find yourself in a role in corporate where you do all this research and vetting and planning and testing before you like make a step. But when you move to entrepreneurship, like the most important thing is like just do it. It's sort of like that old Mark Zuckerberg, like what was his advice? Like move fast and break things. Like, in the beginning stages, like that's what you want to do. Obviously, like with a certain degree of risk management on the legal side, but just start getting stuff out there and testing content or like talking to people, because that is really how you're going to get feedback and how you're going to start to build awareness and grow your business. If you just sit there and try to do things in isolation, like by yourself, you know, you can work for like 15 hours a day and nothing might take off.
If you had one advice to give women right now who might need some legal support, or who might not know that they should look into some legal support, what would you say?
So the biggest piece of advice, and especially for women, and I say that because we have noticed this since we've been live in market, is don't be afraid. If it's something you really need, don't be afraid to pay for it. And I say that because, for example, you could be in a situation where you were on the employment side, like unexpectedly terminated, and your employer gives you a severance agreement, and you could try to read it yourself, have maybe a friend look over it, and I don't know, decide, okay, like, fine, I'll sign it. Or you could get an attorney, and sure, this might cost you several $100s, it could cost you $1,000, but that attorney could help you get $20,000 in a severance package, for example, versus what your company may have been offering you nothing. So
right.
That's a total, like, that's an example, a hypothetical example, but it's very true. Like, you have to think when you're getting legal help about the bigger picture. And for women especially, like, it may feel like, oh, it's a lot of money to pay right now. But I gotta tell you, like, men do it.
Yeah.
Men do it. Men get it. Men are like, okay, yes, like, I gotta pay for this. I'll pay for this and I'll get like this much out of it. And we as women need to kind of embrace that feeling and not feel so nervous or like we don't want to pay for things, because you need to get help and support on this side, especially when you're dealing with like big corporations.
I think that's such helpful advice, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for this awesome platform. You guys really should check out her Instagram and her site, because there's so much great advice and things you just don't always think about. Plus a lot of like girl power inspiration, which I love.
Girl power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining me for tea.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for tuning in. Court, thanks for not dying
my
on that sponge. I don't know where he
Oh,
found that.
No. my dog is over the corner eating an old sponge and now he's rolling on it.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can discover the world through tea together.
Yeah.
And check out WMN Legal. I will post all the info
WMNlegal.com.
below, or that. All right, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye.
Say hi to the sponge culprit.
Court, you should have worn your bow tie.
He's the one that's been making all the noise, but he's so adorable, isn't he?
He's been causing trouble.
All right, say bye.
Bye, Court. Bye.